Welcome to Modern Mystic Messages. I'm Teresa. Thanks for stopping by and clicking on the video. If you're coming here first time here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. In any event, soul family, you know I'm happy that you're here. And if you stopped on this title, maybe, just maybe, you're a little bit curious about what's going on in the love department, eh? I know I am. So let's take a peek and see what's going on here. I had promised we were going to take a look at that. So yes, ma'am, yes, sir. Let's get on in here and see what's going on. And of course, going into the reading, I'd like for our guides to preside over this reading and allow me to be a clear channel for spirit. So Archangel Michael and Yeshua, I ask that you be with us as well as your counterparts, Archie of Faith and Mary Magdalene. If you would please lend your energies to this reading as well. Please and thank you. Ashe. And I hope everybody out there is doing well today. And of course, this is a timeless reading, so whenever you see it, you're meant to see it. Whether it's going up in real time here in May, or if it's whenever it is that it draws your attention, and that's when Spirit wanted you to know. So let's get in here and see what we got going on. And we're going to see if we can go into the reading. Okay. Wait, up. Mirrors. I wish you could see that we're mirroring each other right now. And karmic ties, past lives are influencing our connection. I've lost you in other lifetimes, and that makes me afraid. I need to heal the grief to allow love to bloom. So, whether you know who this person is or not yet, if you're calling in a mirroring counterpart, if they're not in your experience right now, then that might mean that both of you have something that you're healing or overcoming, closing some karmic cycles or lessons, kind of got to graduate from those. But it is a past life situation here, so no worries. Once you make it past there, and truthfully, if you're closing out karmic cycles for yourself, for your ancestors, all of those things, that may be something that you both have to work through. If you're truly mirroring, think about the pain that you've been through and what you had to heal and grow, and it may have taken you some time to get ready to receive love. Then that counterpart that's out there, whether you know who they are yet or not, they're doing the same thing, and that may be why you don't have them in your experience right now. I'm beginning to focus on my mission, and our connection is part of that. Yeah, you got to get to where you're ready to actually understand the spiritual aspect of the connection for divine counterparts or twins or kingdom spouses, and be able to allow that in. Ooh, the planets are activating us to heal and bringing us closer together. Surrender to the changes. I'm liking this going in. Oh, at the bottom of the deck, 1111, we're coming into union. What's at the top here? Uh-oh. I'm feeling controlled by people around me, and I don't like it. It's pushing me to find my power again. But truthfully, you may not like it, but that may be the thing that you need to catalyze some growth to allow this union to happen. Let's see what we got over here. Oh, recognition. The universe will help you recognize signs and miracles, and may be the ones that have to help you recognize who this person is when they're ready to bring it into you. Because very often it doesn't look like what you think it's going to look like. I met my twin on a fluke on a website that I had not logged in over 2 years, and he messaged me on that website, but he didn't even have an account on that website. It was a game that was that I had played a long time ago, and I stopped. Like I said, I didn't even know if my account would still be active, but I was led by spirit to go check on somebody that was in my past that I didn't want to have my new phone number, but I remembered that they had an account on that same app. So I was looking for someone else just to say hi, how you doing, checking on their actual health because they had some serious health issues. And in doing so, this person messaged me. Now, there's plenty of other people there, but I didn't even bother to look at all of the old messages I had. Literally, as I was checking on this other person, they popped into my inbox with a message, and I don't even know what moved me to respond because he wasn't my typical type of person. I wasn't looking for anything. In fact of the matter, I kept him friend zoned for a few years because of the age gap between us. It was like everything I was screaming no, but somehow we still wound up being friends. And then he understood what he wanted and hung in there. But our complete way of meeting was something that I literally had to stop back and look at the signs to help me understand who he was because I wasn't looking for it at all. Except be prepared to accept what fate has in store for you. So even if it don't look like you think it's gonna look, they may be from someplace else and you swore you'd never do a long distance relationship. They may have an age gap and you swore up and down you wasn't gonna do that. They might have children and you didn't want any, or they don't have children and you said you did want some. There's all kinds of scenarios that could be out of the realm of what you thought it was, but you have to accept the spirit knows a little better than you do. Look, marriage of souls is the union of two divine opponents. Truthfully, I mean, and it'll feel like I mean, of course, you're made for each other, but it might look completely opposite from what you thought it was going to be. All true soul connections involve challenges that can be overcome together. And from the top of the deck here, yeah, look into the depth of your emotions. Very often, what's holding us back from our union is emotional baggage or traumas and things that we have to heal. And like I said, if you are truly a mirroring counterpart, they have to heal it too. But guess what? Somebody got to take the lead in that. So if it's not happening, don't be discouraged. Just continue to do your soul work and hold on to the knowledge and faith that is on its way to you. It'll come. Let's see here. Instinct is here. Follow your natural instincts. You're making the current issue more complicated than it needs to be. Trust in the universe. Allow your intuition to guide you. You're always safe. And especially when it comes to love, I think we all make it harder than it has to be because we think we know or we shop based on what we thought we wanted. And Lord knows, I'm going to say it. Y'all can get mad if you want, but especially for women, if we don't put them damn lists aside, we got our list and he got to be this and he got to be that and he got it. And half the time, most of that stuff on that list don't amount to a hill of beans. But like I said, let your ancestors work for you because they know. Opportunity. Live in the moment, let go of the past. There is no point worrying about the future. A wonderful opportunity exists for you today. Embrace it. And when you've asked the universe to bring you love, have faith that they heard you and it's going to happen. Renewal. Rest, switch off the mind. A short holiday would do you a world of good at this time. A change of scenery results in renewed clarity and sense of purpose. And very often it's when we get out of our own head and stop trying to force it to happen. Or, like, if you're literally inspired to take a little holiday, you don't know who you're going to meet there. Not saying you got to go looking, but be open to the possibility of change and then follow where your intuition instructs you to go or do or see because you just never know how they're going to line it up for you. Do what feels right for you above all else. It is impossible to please all parties in the present situation. You have responsibility only for your own life and actions. Others must take responsibility for themselves. This is especially true if you're delivered a divine counterpart that looks different than what you thought it was going to look. It might be something that goes against social norms. Like I say, you met somebody online and they live in another country, or there's a major age gap, or there's any a number of things that if you told your current friends and associations about it, they might have something to say. Well, guess what? Don't tell them then. Keep them out your business. And I mean that because honestly, sometimes they mean well, but they'll talk you out of your blessing based on what they know of the past or your prior relationships. I saw something the other day and I commented on it, but it was a lady, it was something in the short reels about relationships or something. And she said that she told her, I think it was daughter or niece or somebody had met somebody at the mall, and she said, good, because I told her don't ever meet nobody online. And I had to comment to him, you do realize, don't you, you can meet an angel online or a demon in the church or vice versa. Just because you meet somebody up close and personal doesn't mean that they're a good person. Just because you meet a person online doesn't mean they're a charlatan or a catfish or anything else. People are just people, and most of them have access to a computer. So the days of people irrationally declaring that any relationship that starts online got to be bad or something wrong with it, that is such outdated, antiquated thinking. It don't even bear talking about for real. Because all you do when you do that is limit spirit's hand in bringing you what's yours. Once upon a time, we pretty much stayed within a 20, 30, 40-mile radius of wherever we were born at. Where we were born at, most people would die within 50 miles of where they was born once upon a time. Those days are long gone. And we've got to open our minds and adjust accordingly. In this day and time, I would hazard to say that more relationships probably start in some kind of online format, even if the person is still in your hometown. Probably in this day and time that we live in, more relationships probably start online than from met through a cousin, met at church, met in the grocery store type scenario. People are busy. Ain't that many people hanging out. Sure enough, and please don't be still relying on meeting them in the club and stuff, because, ooh, that's where you really want to be careful of, because most people that show up in the club are not their authentic selves, and once they add the idiot water, they really not going to be, you know. Cosmic Carrot is here. We're going to take a look at that too. Ooh, and the Scarlet Woman just passing through. I just want to get a feel for what the Dakinis got to say. We're going to pull some tarot too. Temptation is here, like a bubble. Ooh, wish fulfilling gem. I'm not taking all of those though. Centering the present. Solar return. Survival is here. Horseplay. It's kind of interesting. I'm going to pull the tarot first, and then we're going to come back and look at all of them together. But I mean, horseplay isn't necessarily a bad thing if you got a lighthearted energy coming in, because honestly, I think being with your best friend is a key to longevity and happiness in a relationship. So I don't know the context in which this card is going to pull it, but we're going to see when we look at the cards together. Whoa. The Four of Cups is here. Now that's generally a bit of apathy. So the King of Pentacles is here with the Scarlet Woman. That might be good. The Six of Wands. Okay. The Knight of Swords. I'm taking one of those. Ooh, Judgment. Whoa. And the sun, oh, with wish fulfilling Jim and the sun coming out together, whatever it is, you're going to work it out though. Queen of Wands is here. The World. Page of Cups. That's way too many. That's like 4 or 5. I only need one. Let's see what we got, Spirit. Ace of Cups. Okay. All right. And then get a full picture of what these dakinis are talking about. The Four of Cups and the Cosmic Carrot. Conflict and defeat. Okay. Memories of love are here with the King of Pentacles. A firm foundation with the Six of Wands. Disruption. Oh. Choose wisely. Positive movement forward. Oh, okay. I guess those do come together. We have rest and rejuvenate and accelerated motion with the World and the solar return. The Page of Cups and survival. Oh, okay. Rejoice and celebration. And then with the Ace of Cups and this horseplay, passion ignited. Okay. That gives me, I was a little worried there a bit, but we're gonna find out what's going on here. Oh man. So here, and again, I was pulling along the way of the Celtic cross. So this is kind of like the first position I was, well, actually, it's more along the line of the tree of life, but 10 is 10. So it is what it is. So the first position here is at the navel, and Cosmic Carrot is an earnest desire of the questioner for liberation and enlightenment. This card suggests that enlightened states of existence are to be gained through the transformation of the self by ingesting the spiritual teachings offered and by working on the self so that it becomes a fit vehicle for such consciousness. This card may indicate the need for spiritual or physical discipline such as yoga or meditation, and it also suggests that such a path has been taken and will come to fruition. Okay. So you're in a bit of apathy. Conflict and defeat is here, perhaps from past scenarios, but this Cosmic Carrot just kind of, I mean, you get the idea of dangling a carrot. The hope and the wish for this relationship or this love is there. You're not seeing it just yet, but like I said, the card suggests in an upper location, which in this read it would be towards your spleen. It's not all the way high up, but it's not at the base either. So it suggests that a path has been taken that will lead to fruition of this. So I like that. And then the Scarlet Woman is at the spleen. This card indicates the importance of the Shakti or female energy principle to the questioner and her manifestation either as the mystic counterpart in the world or as the attainment of her attributes within the self. It suggests a strongly passionate nature from the sensual to the spiritual realms, either latent or expressed in the heart of the questioner. That would be you. This is very much a heart card representing the resolution of divisions between spiritual and material, indicating the wondrous creative fulfillment to be achieved through coming to terms with your archetype. It's also to be related to the base or sexual center, a location therein, possibly indicating either an affair or pregnancy, or in this case, you're calling in love. So, yeah, meditate on her as a creative principle or the female principle. And this came along with the King of Pentacles and Memories of Love. So there is passion there and a desire for this King of Pentacles, or even perhaps a need to recover from a past King of Pentacles. But honestly, I think it's more about calling in this King of Pentacles. Probably, I don't know. I'm getting a sense of kind of healing some of these memories of love too. and it's just passing through. They were saying this is a position that has no fixed responsibility. It can either be positive or negative. In the heart center, it shows the where is this in here? 3. Yeah, it is in the heart center. It shows a tendency to transcend the heaviness or emotional ties to the world and acceptance of the free nature of the spirit. Well, that's good because that's the way to lay a firm foundation, kind of letting go, or I don't want to say go with the flow because that sounds a little cavalier for this position, but it's not taking the past hurts, the conflict and defeat, and the memories of love, not taking that so seriously that you can't allow this in. You can lay a firm foundation, and you will, because it is here with the Six of Wands, indicating victory. That is victory and success, and victory with recognition as well. Now, with this disruption, we got the Knight of Swords, which the Knight of Swords is a swift action taker, but it can also be a little hot headed and kind of running along, like I say, headlong but strong in the wrong direction, because it's here with temptation. So that tells me a decision. Well, it don't tell me. The book says, according to the Dakinis, it's a tempting offer. Yet a decision has to be made, which should be based on the highest motivations. So it's a situation where one has a chance to gain much if the correct standpoint is maintained. So we can't allow disruptions to this. And it further, okay, and I get this. This is kind of being careful how you're manifesting, because the progression here, the next card here after temptation with this Knight of Swords and disruption, we have like a bubble and judgment and choose wisely. So this is something that is spiritually due to you. This love, this relationship that you want, that you're calling in, it is your spiritual judgment to have it, but you have to choose wisely. And like a bubble is kind of like that, focusing on your own, calling in your desires, and kind of understanding that the world is your oyster, but it does take some being very careful about what you want. Yeah. And wish fulfilling gem is kind of one of those. It's a very auspicious card because it's exactly what it sounds like. It's like the world, the wheel of fortune, and some more stuff wrapped together. And guess what? It's here with the sun and positive movement forward. It really don't get much better than that. So, like the folks say, F what you heard, this conflict and defeat and this memories of love situation back here, the cosmic carrot, you're going to overcome that if you allow it to. Choose wisely. Or, like we talked about in the beginning of the reading, let spirit choose for you and just don't turn it aside. Don't be so busy in fear and doubt that you push it away from you because you don't want to believe that it is what it is. And how do we get to that? Rest and rejuvenate and centering with the present. I do want to look at this card though to see what it has to say. The Queen of Wands is a manifester, like big time manifester. In fact, she's known as the witch in the tarot. She manifests so much. Concentration on the potency of living in the present, and understanding of the self's position outside of time, coming through spiritual practices and the developed intuition. Yeah. It indicates growth, developed concentration, a psychological power point of high potency. At the heart, it tells of fulfillment, and in the head, there's a strong indication of the achievement of desires in the present through the power of the cooling lunar wisdom essence. It's always a positive card. It's a teaching of the absolute truth of the eternal present. So in this rest and rejuvenation period, this is about this feels almost like hangman, but it's more about manifesting from your heart's desire once you can calm the mind and calm the will to really get an opportunity to decide so you can choose wisely and manifest. with absolute certainty that you're able to call in that which you desire. We got the world here and accelerated motion with the solar return. I definitely want to look at that. This is returning to the roots of the personality. Most people only have at most like three. Well, the solar returns considered your birthday, but like I'm thinking about Saturn returns. But yeah, this is a return to the roots of the personality. It's considered the astrological influences at birth in order to find the path of least resistance in the present. And also talks about being forced to confront the inner structure of the psyche. But with this accelerated motion and the world, I think it's a very positive thing here. Yeah, very much. It says it is a positive card, very much the path of the warrior, a chance to make gains by confrontation, the burning of karma, and a return to source. It's a way through to eternity. And you got accelerated motion coming with it. So the world is awaiting you here. Yes, indeed. I like that. And now we have the Page of Cups with survival and rejoice and celebration. And with that survival card, I kind of get where you've probably been in that kind of instinctive, knee jerk, kind of going with what you thought, or like I said, moving instinctually or instinctively. But with the rejoice and celebration and the Page of Cups, the Page of Cups, pages are messengers, so that's a foretelling of this emotional connection coming or love. Now, in the traditional tarot, well, there's a fish coming out of this one too, so you still got to be a little careful. But if you're doing the rest and rejuvenating and choosing wisely, you can rejoice in celebration at this. And it does talk about the need for the power of faith to triumph over all polluting obstacles because it's in the head position. And then last but not least, through these positions, we have the Ace of Cups and Passion Ignited, which is another one card. So that's awesome. It's kind of like Ace of Cups. This isn't truly Ace of Wands, but kind of sort of Ace of Cups, Ace of Wands. And that comes along with 47 horseplay. A doorway through to the spontaneous imagination. This card suggests that fantasy is given precedence related to the location on the tree of life, and it's in the head or crown. It's a transcendent experience or message which brings joy to the heart and lightness to the spirit. Uh, the, it's also, wait a minute, it also it refers to a sexual experience drawing on fantasy, opening the occult doorway. So that's like manifesting through sexual transmutation in a way. At the spleen, it suggests an openness to psychic forces. At the navel, it tells of a lightening of pressures through the power of spontaneity. At the head, it represents a message from the other world or horseplay as the result of a worldly question. So the question was about drawing in this love, and the response is passion ignited, and then this gift of this emotional outpouring or gift from the divine. So however you slice it, that is a beautiful way to end up that tarot portion. Now we are going to look at some oracle cards too, just because, and then we're going to end up, let me see, where were we? Oh, I want to take a look at like his cards, her cards. Kind of, these aren't truly, it's not a solely masculine deck, but it is a little more masculine than I've got that one in Holy Woman. So I just want to take a peek because I'm nosy like that. Let's see what we got going on over here. Okay. With all of our shared interests and goals, we could easily be part of the same community. So whether it's a in-person community, an online community, a spiritual community, it's going obviously if you're going to wind up in a best friend situation with a divine counterpart, they're going to have some interest, especially since you're mirroring. You won't have to go far to find me because I already live in your area. Okay, well, maybe not then. And that may only be for some of us. Don't necessarily close your mind off to distance if it does seem like that person that's being presented to you is from further away. But spirit is suggesting that it won't be as far away as you think. There are cultural norms and expectations that I need to overcome before we can really be happy together. Yeah, it's about more work on self. We always wanted to be them that's the hold up, but very often it's us that's the hold up. We just don't realize it yet. Ego. Will your ego allow space for us to have an equal partnership? Only you know the answer to that. Don't feel like you have to be perfect for me. You've already done a lot of self work, and our relationship will be an opportunity to grow together. Yeah, absolutely. And at the top, comfortable. Are you really ready to give up your old ways to be with me? That is the $1 million question, as they say. Yeah, because especially if we've had a history of uncomfortable relationships, we have to realize there's an energy signature to stuff. And if you had a series of uncomfortable relationships, or let's go ahead and say it, toxic, there's some healing that has to come with that to be ready to receive this kind of love that you're manifesting in. We want stuff sometimes before we're ready for it. And this is for the female or feminine energy. Okay, that should be enough. First one out here was you can be proud of yourself. You've been so tough. Open your heart, even if you've been hurt in the past. Let others into your life in the love that belongs to you. They won't take anything from you. So yeah, it's just healing and learning to trust again. That's all. He wants to rejoin your life and he doesn't quite know how. Something is holding him back. And even if you're saying rejoin, if it's a past life scenario and you're both healing and separation, it still may be a situation where he's trying to figure out how they all are trying to figure out how to make it to each other and still working on it. But it's okay. It's important that you keep in touch, even if it's just telepathically at the moment. If you're not quite sure who this is, keep your mind open to it and pay attention to the signs and synchronicities. That is a way of spiritually keeping in touch, even when you're not physically acquainted with each other yet. He's going to approach you. He wants to explain everything. He's sorry and ashamed of what he's told you. He thought it was the truth when he said it, but it but really it was a lie. It won't take long until he's ready. That might be for somebody specific. If you know who the person is, but you've gone through a painful cycle together, there may have been a need for some healing and growing. Be patient. Now, I'm not saying allow a dog back into your life. No, ain't nobody saying that. But sometimes people just need to heal and grow, especially if he thought something, he was telling the truth and it turned out to not be what you thought, either of you thought it was. That may take some time to work through. Why the doubts? You feel the band that is connecting your hearts. The only reason why it's tense is because you're so far away from each other. You're the one reaching for them. The band tears faster when it's stretched. You won't need them if the band is you won't need them. If the band is too strained, it will tear anyway, but that will take a long time. So again, even if you're just calling it in and what you're if the only thing that you have right now is the essence or feel of it, do understand that spirit may be creating a telepathic or an energetic connection with you, with your soulmate or divine counterpart or kingdom spouse, what have you, before you physically have them in your experience. But don't sweat it. Just let it run its course naturally and have faith that it will come. Now, let's see here. Okay. And we have healing. Imagine yourself and your beloved surrounded by light. Uh-oh, can't show that. Feel your relationship being healed in this very moment. Reflection. Give each other some space at the moment. Trust and have faith that all will work out for the best. Yeah. Even if they're not able to be in your immediate experience right now, it'll be okay. Life is a series of constantly shifting cycles. When we resist change, we resist the natural flow of life and create unnecessary stress. Go with the flow. You'll be surprised where it leads. Mm-hmm. Close your eyes and tell yourself that you deserve to feel joyful. You can allow joy into your life regardless of the circumstances you currently find yourself in. For sure. That's the way to fast track this thing to you. You may not always understand why certain things happen. However, there's a higher purpose to the events in your life. Through turmoil, a blessing will soon be revealed. So even if it's looking a little rocky, don't lose hope or lose sight of what you're manifesting and drawing in, regardless of what you think it looks like in the moment. You stay fixed on what you know it's going to end up at and let spirit figure out how it's going to get there. Because if we get caught up in the negative stuff, we can wind up actually manifesting what we don't want just by focusing too hard on it. Look here. Yes. Stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. Didn't I just say that? Wow. And there's a strong magnetic attraction there, chemistry. Also, your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. So this partner that you seek, like you say, your ancestors and spirit got to go shopping for you to get the one that you need. Because ain't saying that you got to be of the same exact religious path, but because you both may morph and grow together, but you have to be of a like-mindedness that can happen, because you do kind of have to wind up on the same spiritual page, even if you may not be on the same exact paragraph, but you got to at least be in the same book and on the same page, for sure. Retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. And very often, that rest and retreat, or rest and rejuvenate, that is so that you can get still and allow this to come in for you. Oh, there was one left over here. What's that? Oh, this is a romance of a lifetime you're calling in. That was one card that was left in there by mistake, but there are no mistakes, so I'm going to take it to mean that your true love is on the way. Ooh. A private getaway for two is calling you. Is there a vacation in your future? It says wedding bells are ringing. Open your heart. Love is the highest energy of all. Let it in. And this energy is fun and lighthearted but uncertain. So I get that. I mean, obviously, you wouldn't be necessarily looking at love. Well, maybe if they were there and you're in separation. But either way, it's a fun, lighthearted energy that, according to this, most likely is going to end in marriage for you. Maybe it's, like I said, a sexy vacation or two first, but yeah, it's going to end the way you want it to. Ooh, fearless love, a courageous leap into the unknown. Friendship is vital to your romance. Feelings deepen and blossom. Manifesting the one. Very soon, your true love will arrive. Wow. Yeah. And then, last but not least, I do want to pull a little bit of Journey of Love and see if we can get a message or two from Spirit there. This is beautiful, though. So, yeah, never fear. Manifestations take time, especially you manifesting something this good. But hey, it's coming. And we have, heart fire, the blood dance, and towering magnificence. So let me see. I think we're going to start from the back forward today. The heart craves life and the blood responds. In relationship to each other, life happens. The desire and the action, the movement of cycles, drawing in and letting go, rushing to the center and pushing far away to the extremities. It is the cycle of relationship, dancing between self and other into oneness and into individuality. So it is with human beings in relationship with each other and with human beings in the divine essence. Sometimes the heart of God feels so close it's as though our own inner passion is the very blood rushing through it. Then we journey far, bringing our nourishment to where it is needed, to those who are cold and lonely, to the furthest reaches of our own dark self, that we may, if very brave, dare to love completely. Though we can be lonely for the warmth of the center, then, craving that feeling of being at home, soon enough we are called back to the core of the divine heart, and the cycle continues. Remember that you are always in this dance of life. You are never apart from the divine. It's just that sometimes in our natural flow, it is easier to feel that divine presence than at other times, yet you're always the blood connected to the heart. And this oracle brings you confirmation that you're connected to the divine source, to all that is. If you're experiencing a phase of feeling cut off from yourself, from your body, from another, or from the divine, even from your own feelings, spiritual connection, or intuition, be reassured that this is temporary and part of the cycle of life itself. Soon all connection shall return with even greater warmth and nourishment, welcoming you home again with great love. If you feel you've been journeying in life and fear that you have lost your way, do not trouble yourself, precious soul. You are never far from the divine heart and will always be called home. Okay. And then towering magnificence. You are entering the presence of the truly great and sublime divinity. It is without form, yet it exists within all forms. It is humbling and yet asks nothing of you. It just is. And when we encounter it, we are moved beyond words, beyond mind, and into realms of the heart that we may never have experienced before. It takes a brave soul to meet the towering majesty of divine presence. It can be a terrifying experience as limitations, preconceived notions, and identities crumble in the wake of its light. You are being brought to this place out of love because you are ready. Your soul has been craving connection to something so much larger than itself, to find something worthy to which it can devote itself entirely. This greatness is becoming available to you now to be witness to the extent that is helpful, so that you may find the greater purpose of service which your heart craves. You are ready. This oracle brings you comfort that your inner path, your opening up to direct experience of the divine presence, is happening now according to divine timing and grace. This is also confirmation that you're connecting with your spiritual guidance more consciously now, and that any sense of self that appears to be falling away from you now is because your divinity has outgrown it and a new awareness is taking its place. And I find it very interesting because this oracle, this deck that I'm pulling from, is the journey of love, and a lot of the cards are about romantic love and all that. But there are these ones that are talking about spiritual love and connection, because truthfully, the kind of love that you're bringing in, it is a divine partnership. So the first love affair does have to be with yourself and the divine first, and then this love comes in and it's just the icing on the cake with a cherry on top. But it does happen here first, in this connection with self and the divine. And then heart fire is the last card we're going to look at here. Passion is igniting within you. It is not a time when things will remain still, even if the change is only sensed as a subtle stirring underneath the surface of things. Even if slow at first, passion will unfold from within your heart, soon to be burning bright like a sun, unrestrained. You are learning how to ride waves of passion. Though eruptions of heat and descent into cool through eruptions of heat and descent into coolness, bearing the absence of fire, only to realize it is returning to you again. Ride its waves, knowing that passionate bliss will always return to a heart that is on fire with love for life. The coolness allows us to experience the heat. Once you realize that the fire emerging from within you will ebb and flow, you will trust in its presence. You will realize that whether your passionate fire is obvious, drawing you into life, or dwelling quietly within, gaining power from the deepest sources of your being, soon to rise once more, it is a constant in your heart. Accept the fire of your heart and know that this is how you are meant to be, on fire with love for all that is. This oracle brings a message for you. Trust the passion and the fire of your heart to guide your decisions now. What would make you feel most alive? Choose that. If you're feeling a lack of genuine passion in your life, take comfort that it is awakening in your own heart now, bringing something that has been long in rest back to life. And the poem here, I do want to read this. It says, life unfolds in wondrous ways, and time together fills the days with unexpected gifts beyond our wildest dreams, like open hearts as feelings start to face the longing when we part. Our souls know this is more than what it seems. In gratitude, I offer prayer with thanks for this love so rare, asking guidance on this sweet sojourn. The answers come in tears that flow, emotions raw, and smiles that show. Becoming one is worth the wait until I can return. As I was reading that, it made me think about Abraham Hicks when they talk about manifesting love, since you are calling in this beautiful divine love and spirit is showing it's on the way. If it's not there for you just then, one of the quickest ways to manifest love is just or the quickest ways to manifest a loving partnership, I should say, in your life is to examine all the other ways you can be in love with life. Concentrate on what that feeling of love is, even if it's not focused within a partnership, a romantic partner right now. Manifest it within other loving relationships, children and life and animals and earth and yourself and friendships, and in a number of ways. Just get really in love with feeling love, and that love will find its way to you. I have confidence that it's going to come to you. Know it. And hey, let me know when it comes. Drop me a line and let me know. But yeah, it's on its way to you. Fear not. And when it gets here, it's going to be delicious. Yeah. You are coming into union. Know this. 1111. You're coming into union. This is your reading, family. I do appreciate you taking the time out to allow me to read for you today. I enjoyed it very much. And if you got benefit from it, please give the video a thumbs up. If you know someone that could use this information as well, please share it with them. And of course, as always, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. We look forward to having you here in the family. And until next time, family, peace and blessings to you. I love you. Namaste.